Good evening, Blues. Thursday night preview of the Everton Forest game on Sunday. Can't even believe we're back here, Mabbsy. So soon after that shocking defeat on Monday. I'm still
Yeah,
pissed off with that.
absolutely. I think you're not the only one. He has to go now, surely. It can't be any way back. Well, you'd think, wouldn't you? You'd hope,
Mm,
or
I think that basically this is the pivotal week, isn't it? We've got 3 home games, and if we don't get 4 points from this week, he's in trouble.
or
He's got to be in trouble if we don't get at least 1 win out of
I
3.
know, but as I say, it's the safest job in football because he's going to sack him. Because we've got an absentee owner who doesn't want to rock the boat to affect the sale. 777 can't decide it because they're not owners of the club; they haven't bought it. So yeah, we're in this grey area that we can't
Mm.
actually sack him because who sacks him? Because they also want
We haven't
Kevin
got the
Phelps.
money. We basically haven't got the money to pay him off.
Well, it's not
Um,
only that, but who actually makes the decision at each time? Because you know what, no one's there to make a decision because there's the sale going through
mm,
as well.
yeah, if you've just joined us, Everton v Forest preview. Mabbsy and I are still very much fuming.
Hmm.
I've been pretty much down in the dumps for 3 days now. I didn't know what to do with myself at half time, and I certainly didn't know what to do with myself after the whistle. But
You know what,
unless
Steve?
you've been, yeah,
I'll be truthful. I just don't give a fuck anymore. I'm to the point. I'm just that numb. Just
mm,
don't care. You know what? Right. I I always remember when I think last season, so it was talking August time last year when we sorry May time rather May last game of the season we stayed up and my mate was like, "Do you want to go out?" Like, no, I was meant to go out. I just felt got home and just went to bed because I was that dejected and I should have been
mm,
later. We stayed up, but you know what? We shouldn't be in a position. I thought we can't be in a position again, and here we are again.
mm,
And I don't know. I don't know how to be upbeat or anything. I'm just numb. I'm numb to the
mm,
pain, and I'm just used to it.
yeah,
And you know what? I used to, I think a lot of people, love up for the matches. I just go through the motions, and that's sad.
yeah. It's definitely got a lot worse. Like I used to get super, super excited about watching Everton live. And now it just feels like one of those chores that you've got to do. You just
It
don't have a say in
really
it.
is. It is. You just like, I've renewed my season ticket, obviously, because I'm a mug. I've gone for the additional £75 presentation pack because I'm a mug. And I honestly feel, and I know I'll probably get a lot of stick for this, but I honestly, and hopefully, there's people feeling the same as me. But I'm numb. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm dejected, and kind of like, you know what? If Everton went to liquidation today, I'd be happy because I'd be done with football. I'd be done with it. I wouldn't support anyone else. Just switch off from it completely and not even worry about it ever again.
I think we'll be glad when the season's over. The international break obviously comes, and then I kind of look forward to that. I used to hate it, um, but that's just how it is. Right, Everton Forest. We've got to kind of pick ourselves up. You kind of expect a response, but it's 3 games, 3 important pivotal games. I think the derby comes sandwiched between these 2 winnable games. I don't think the derby is per se winnable, but potentially could be a chance
A
to get a
point.
point. But you go in for a point. It could easily be a Chelsea thing again. I just hope not. So Forest becomes kind of a pressure fixture now. We've just been
Absolutely.
defeated, but it's a clash of 2 sides that kind of have a bit of contrasting fortune. Everton, um, terrible at home. We've actually had the worst home record since the beginning of last season combined. The worst
Mhm.
goal scored, the most goals let in, the least wins, all of that. I've been reading on all of that today.
But yeah, this is the craziest situation. If we hadn't had those 8 points deducted, which we've earned, we'd be nowhere near. It's phenomenal. How? I'm sorry, go on, Steve. You've gone really quiet. Go on. I can't. For some reason.
I'll just drop that out. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry, I was on mute. I don't know what happened there. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. So it wasn't. It wasn't me. I was just basically saying, you know, the 8 points. It's a lot of points at the bottom of the league. It's basically a lot of points, but it doesn't take away from the fact that we've been diabolical at home, and not great away, but diabolical. The worst side in the league since the beginning of last season at home is now coming against the worst side away from home. Forest are the worst side.
Them cunts have scored 1-0, but just scored.
Sorry?
Them cunts have just scored, by the way.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Could be in for a long night there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the Forest have the worst away record. They have the most goals conceded from set pieces, whereas Everton are actually quite good from set pieces, second highest, I think, set piece goals in the league. So basically, something's got to give, and because of that, the most obvious thing is you start thinking about, is this just going to be a draw? Because neither side can afford to lose to its rival, but neither side could take the risks at the same time. So you're expecting a response. I mean, Dyche will give them a good hiding, but what's he going to do? First of all, let's talk about the lineup. Do you think he needs to make changes to make a statement? And if so, who can he bring in?
Well, I'd start Gomez for a start. I would absolutely start Andre Gomez. Why not? At the end of the day, when he's been coming on, he's been absolutely fantastic. Willie, though, and this is the $64 million question, Willie, and it's a must win. It's a must win. And you know what? Coming back to what I just said before, how downbeat we are, how downbeat are the players going to be? You know what I mean? They need to pick themselves up and go out and get a performance at Goodison. You know, we need to get the good. We do need the crowd. We need the crowd as much as dejected as we all are. We do need to get behind the team. And I'm sick and tired of saying it. We need to do this. We shouldn't be we shouldn't be needing to do this. They're rich. I'm not bothered about the money. I'm not. They're paid very handsomely for what they do, and they need to perform. And we do need to get the 3 points. There's no other way. It's a must win.
Yeah. So basically, how do we go about this? Gomez comes in.
Gomez.
Who's he coming for? Any of them?
Yeah, pretty much the starting 11 to start apart from.
No, I agree with you, Mabbsy. I agree. Gomez should come in. He's got a bit of guile. He's got a bit of panache. He can sometimes look a bit leggy and off the pace, but Dyche basically said to him, you know, you've got a big role to play. And I think Dyche really likes him. And when you like by a manager, you know, it does motivate you. And I think he will start. Calvert-Lewin, do we know where he is?
I don't know.
I mean, it's still very early doors.
There's no update as yet on him, so who knows what? Do you drop an honor for Gomez?
I think it's quite funny what Carragher said about Onana. He just flaps his arms. He basically, Carragher, like him or not, can't understand, is he a 6 or is he an 8 or where is he? Where does he fit? How do you see Onana actually as a footballer? I saw the Belgium game at Wembley and he was kind of floating in front of the back four. But for us, where is his role?
Good question. I think he puts performances in when he wants to put a performance in, and that's the issue with him because he's got, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think that's good enough, Mabbsy.
No, it's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Basically, I
I'm
think
not defending him.
he's had a couple of headers. He's a physical presence. He promised a lot box to box, but he just comes across to me as one of these players that seems to be better internationally.
Yeah, totally. But actually, something that he likes doing. You know what I mean? It's absolutely nuts to think that we've got. He's got that potential, but he's just not. He's just I just don't think you can be asked. Like the fucking lot of them. If I'm being honest.
Well, it's a collective thing, and also the heads go, confidence goes. Fans are going to be anxious on Sunday,
It's going to be
because
nervy.
it's going to be nervy. I mean, at what point are the flares and everything coming out?
But
But talk about a week before the season ticket deadline. I mean, this is it. I've never seen so many tickets flying around available for a fixture. I think a lot of people are very fed up now.
a lot of well, I think a lot of people are, are thinking the same ilk as me. I hate to
I
say
think
it, I love my club, but
we've won once in 15 matches. We've
mm,
we've the last two games we won were both against Burnley, who are below us. So the omens are not there. We it's not just Forest. It's Forest, the Derby, and Brentford. That Brentford game has to be a winnable game as well. But
yeah,
if you lose at Forest and go into the Derby, that Brentford game becomes too high pressure. So it's got to be, in my opinion, not to lose against Forest. Try and get something from Liverpool and maybe
it's
approach
got to
that
be.
Brentford game.
Say
But
we cannot have. It's a 6 pointer
is
in
is it a
effect.
must win? Is it
Yeah, of course
absolutely
it is.
must win?
It's a 6 pointer, Steve.
Mm,
Because not only you gaining 3 points, Forest aren't gaining any, and that's the crux of it. We need it. We cannot draw. We cannot lose. It is a must win if we have got any chance of staying up.
mm, mm,
I think if we lose, we're down. You know, Forest leapfroggers. We've got the appeal coming. You don't know what's going to happen. The most Everton thing is get more points fucking taken off us.
mm,
Let's not beat around the bush. It is, and they want to give us this 10 for some obscure reason. They're fixated on it, and they fucking play will drop us another 2 points. So, in my, we can't. It's not a must. Can't must not lose. It's a must win. It is
mm.
that important.
And if it's going to be a win, it's going to be 1-0, isn't it? You surely can't do anything. Not going to be
Uh,
a 4-3
not,
thriller, is it?
to be fair, I don't think it was the fourth film the heart could take it. With Everton, somebody look, it wouldn't. Yeah, that just it wouldn't happen because we haven't got the firepower, and B,
Mm,
I just don't. I think they get the heads down after we certainly be losing, and then they get the heads down. Not a chance it's going to be that at all.
mm. Well, I wouldn't say look forward to the fixture, but it's coming whether you like it or not. Whether you're watching this on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, whatever, minute before kickoff or Friday night, it's coming. The Everton Forest game is our biggest game of the season, and it's come on the back of our most dreadful performance. It was
What have we
absolutely
become as a
dreadful,
club?
unforgivable. The the performance, I mean, Dyche basically said there weren't enough tackles, too many poor individual performances, and all of
Well, the
that.
whole squad's
But
too many. The whole squad. It wasn't just
yeah,
like too
yeah.
many. It was all of them.
So I want Everton to come out with some bite, and we kind of see it sometimes when the back's against the wall. You talked about removing Dyche. It's not going to happen before this week,
It's
but
not going to
obviously if
happen,
you
is it?
lose
Let's
all
be honest.
three, well, I think if we lose all three games, I think he might go.
Yeah, but who sacks him?
Hmm?
Who sacks him? You've
Although
got
we'll
no
probably end
one
up in
there.
administration if we sack him, so we can't.
Yeah, you can't sack him. He's got the most. It's the worst thing to say. He's actually got the best job in English football because he can't save his job in English football because he's not
And
getting
there's
sacked.
no one really about. And the only justification really is that you sack the manager and you get the bounce, and that's the only benefit of having it really. Because I think long term, it's just not going to do anything. It's not really going to make a difference. We've been kind of victim to this cycle again and again and again. But anyway, what are your thoughts? We're interested to know. Obviously, like, subscribe, um, all of that jazz. We do like it when you do this,
Yeah,
which
please.
has helped our grow our followers. But doesn't make it any easier for us coming on here. It's painful, and
Like for every blue out there, it's just painful at the moment. There's just no.
mm,
You can't say we've got to win. I can't stress this enough. It's an absolute must, and Yeah, I can't even bear to think of if we didn't, what the consequences are going to be. Who would
Yeah,
take the job? That's good. Good point.
well, Rooney's about, but
I
he's not got
honestly
any experience.
get Moyes
Really,
in. Moyes, I
but Moyes is not going to take this, Mabsy.
why
If he
wouldn't he?
goes,
Why wouldn't he?
because he's still at West Ham, and there's no problem there.
No, well, if he leaves at the end of the season, like there's been rumours, because he's not getting the contract extension, and he becomes what he's got to be. It would be a step forward. At the end of the day, yeah. You know what, guys? I'm really sorry I couldn't really bloody less shade than I tried, and it's not because I've had a bad day. I haven't. It's just talking about Everton now. Just yeah, and I'm sorry I'm
It
not
is,
like
it
upbeat.
is depressing. It's not something that I particularly look forward to anymore, Mabsy.
No,
Um,
it's really not. It's a chore. It's like something you do because you love your club and you're a mug.
mm,
You're not a mug, but you just got this undying love for something that it doesn't show you any bloody pleasure anymore. And that's
mm.
really sad. It's really sad to say, but they've said it, and I'll probably get some shit for it, but whatever. I'm really how I feel at the moment.
No, Mabsy, I think we all feel like this. It's
Yeah,
just a painful experience, and you think it's not going to get any worse, and then it does.
yeah,
And that's
totally.
what happened. At least the snooker's starting soon. But what
Yeah,
happened? What happened on Monday night? I don't think anyone really saw it coming. I thought it probably would be quite a tight game.
yeah.
Chelsea have been a bit poor, and I don't think that
Well, I
anyone
said,
particularly saw it. It was
I
one of
said in the
those where it's like the shackles come off, and you
yeah.
just
The floodgates open. At the end of the day, I said it depends what I said depends what I was confident and stupidly I don't know why I was stupidly confident it was going to be a draw. I was and I was obviously totally wrong, but
no.
I don't know why I
I
had
think
some
I
confidence.
don't think you're wrong. I actually even now remember thinking, "Oh, we're gonna." I actually think, "Oh, we're gonna get a point. We're
Yeah,
gonna get something from the fixture," because Chelsea have been really poor. We won the game against them at Goodison in December, and that was kind of we need to do what we did then, which was pretty much after the points deduction, we had 3 back-to-back wins.
yeah,
If we get 3 back-to-back wins, we're safe. They
yeah.
only need to put in 3 good performances. Anyway, here's the league. Um, Sorry to bring it up, but I think form is important in this. Um,
And
and
our form's
obviously,
shocking.
yeah, I know. And obviously, it does highlight the kind of situation here with Everton and Forest. A point between the two. Everton have a game in hand, which basically they
Which
don't
is the cop, yeah,
anyway.
but it's the cop outs. Let's be honest. It's not like
Yeah, yeah.
again.
So let's face
Yeah,
it, we're not getting anything from that. Even if we play well for 90 minutes, they'll probably score on 95. Sorry, guys. I know it's awful to say that, but we know they're jammy. So anyway, 27 points. They're on 26. Yes, we've had 8 deducted. Blah, blah, blah. We can't keep going on about that. We know where we stand now. But
we
as you can
don't
see,
do no, but
Forest
we don't know,
have had
Steve.
3
Though
draws in the last 5. We've had
that's
3
the issue, though.
defeats.
But that's the issue. We don't know
Mm.
where we stand. That's the
Well,
crux. But we don't know where we stand because it's
what do you think?
still
It could be
on
worse
appeal.
than 2 points if we appeal.
Well, we've appealed. It potentially can be, and it'd be the most Everton thing ever. They want to get rid of us, don't they? So
Mm.
they
John
get
says we
that.
need 6
Who knows?
points on the next 2 from the next
Yeah,
3.
because and again, who knows? Because Forest might get points back too.
They might, or they may, yeah, they might. Obviously, Everton basically play all of these sides. We play Brentford, we play Luton
Yeah,
away on a Friday night.
and then
Brentford's
Arsenal.
next
We have to be
Saturday.
safe by then. We have to be safe by last game of the
Um,
season.
is next? Oh no, it's next Saturday night. So basically, we play Sunday 1:30, Liverpool
Hmm.
8 o'clock on Wednesday. And if we play well at that against Brentford, I'll eat my hat because it's just too much for this paper thin squad of crappy footballers. Anyway, these games, Luton, Forest, Brentford, on paper are winnable, but we've seen them before where we go into them thinking we're going to win. Um, you know, unexpected stuff happens. we end up probably losing and then taking a point from the derby. We've seen it all. Emma's regular. Hi, Emma. She says, I take 4 back-to-back wins. What are you
Wouldn't
on,
we
Emma?
all? Wouldn't we all, Emma? Absolutely. And yeah, couldn't put it better myself. But yeah,
It's safe to say I think Palace are way out the picture now. As are Brentford. 5 points is just huge.
yeah.
But Palace have a game in hand and they're so far ahead. But they're not playing amazing. They're just doing enough, basically. Obviously, Bournemouth are not in the running. You could argue that Brentford and Palace mathematically can go down, but they're 3 or 4 points off safety realistically. Everton, Forest, Luton are kind of all vying, I think, to be 2 from 3 safe. I don't think Burnley are in that equation, Mabsy. I just
No,
can't see them
I
bridging
just
a
think it's
5-point
out
gap.
of. I think it's only out of, isn't it? I think Burnley and Sheffield United go down. I think it's between us, Luton and Forest. Simple.
And yet again, here we are, year on year. This is the 3rd year running where we've had this
Yeah.
stupid situation, and we've not learnt our lessons. We never strengthen the strikers. We won't go into it all, but it's piss poor. Calvert-Lewin,
Yeah.
if he does start, he
Replays.
has scored in the last. Yeah, well, if he's available, he probably plays. But Beto did put a shift in. He made an unforgettable sitter. I got a lot of messages from Chelsea fans, kind of empathetic messages, Mabsy. It's not really what you want from a side that's 9th in the league, that's not playing well at all. But basically, they were saying that if Beto had scored that first game, goal, it would have been a
changed the
different.
game. Absolutely
It would have
different game.
massively changed
Of
the
course it
game.
would.
Because we
Your
could
heads
have probably
go
had
up
something to
and
hold on to. Well, we just
heads
hold on
go
to
up.
something.
Belief and belief.
Mm.
Yeah, it is what it is, and we move on. As I think we said in the last stream, we were together the Chelsea preview, and they didn't do it. He controlled Cole Palmer, and we just didn't bother, and we didn't try. He's a great player, but at the end of the day, if you play him out of the game, and what happens?
Mm.
So I'm going to
Well,
go through
looking at
predictions.
just quickly looking at the odds, Everton evens for this game. If you look at win predictors and things, it's about 47% win.
At home,
Forest
at
around
home,
20 or so.
we're at home, and we're still over 50, but there we go.
Yeah. Well, that's just how it is. I mean, they take into all of these, things. The draw's obviously 5-2. It's probably great
Yeah.
value at 5-2, to be honest. And then Forester even. There's not much to give. I mean, you can't really say much, but it is basically the worst home form against the worst away form. Sky have picked it. It's 1:30, a controversial kickoff time. Why is it 1:30? We think it's something to do with the FA Cup match. Man United are playing Coventry, I think, at 3:30, and as a result of that match being there, the FA Cup is trying to be almost being brought more into the limelight. And there was an announcement today around
Don't
the
get me
FA Cup.
started on that. Don't get me started on that. I think that's another
And
appalling
as a
move.
result, I think
Dividing the
that they
club.
don't want that semi-final played at the same time as the as a crunch Premier League fixture.
No.
And so I think that's why it's 1:30. I can't see it to being with policing. Obviously, Liverpool play away. They play down in London against Fulham. So it's not a policing issue. It's blatantly something to do with this FA Cup that it's been
Yeah, of
brought
course it
forward
is.
from that 2 o'clock. Not that 30 minutes makes a big difference. Everton will probably be sleeping in the first half, whatever time they play. Mabsy, should we move on? Should we talk about what you expect, predictions? Um,
I'm going to
talk about it.
predict a 1-0, 1-0 towards Everton. 1-0 because it just has to be. Whether it
1-0.
happens or not, 1-0 to Everton. That
Is it
plucked
is
it.
it an optimistic or is it an expectation? If you could
It's an
only put one bet
expectation.
on.
Expectation. We've got to, but I just yeah. Again, it's head and heart again, isn't it? All over again, and it shouldn't be. And no disrespect. Oh, well, actually, plenty of disrespect for us. We shouldn't be thinking it. A, Forest shouldn't be a must win, and B, we shouldn't be worried about playing Forest. And again, I mean that's an arrogant point of view, but the Everton of old, a few years back, we wouldn't have worried about Forest, but now we're in this mess. So we have to be worried about Forest.
We do. We do.
What do you think?
So yeah, there you have it. 1-0 from Mabsy. 1-1. I'm kind of like you, Mabbsy, a bit numb to it now. What I want, what I expect, and what we get, two different things. Mr. Blue Skies, I'd be very happy with 2-1. I could see it happening, but at the same time, I could also see us losing 4-1. So
we
we're
need to
just so
score the
good at the
first goal.
moment that anything can happen.
We need to score the first goal. There's no matter in my mind, because if we concede, the heads will drop. And again, I hate these downbeat streams. I'm just there's just nothing. I can't be.
Obviously, we're just being realistic. I think that anyone watching this will say that we're kind of representing how the fans feel, the sentiments towards the side. You can't get excited about a side that's just lost 6-0 and is now playing its relegation rivals at home in a week where we also face our arch rivals who are going for a championship. Yes, they might have slipped up, but they're still going for it. There's still a lot riding on that. We'll come to that, after. It's one game at a time. I mean, I know that Dyche will be going.
Again,
It's Wednesday.
Tuesday, Tuesday's our stream.
Oh yeah, Tuesday we'll be previewing Liverpool. And then we'll be back on Thursday previewing Brentford, which is all 3 games are on TV. All 3 games I think might be on Sky. So yeah, just crunch week for the Blues. I mean, when we see you on the other side of all this, it's anyone's guess. We don't know really about team news. This fixture has been done 3 days before, and we're not Mystic Meg, the late Mystic Meg, so we don't know what actually is happening behind the scenes. But hopefully there will be some more coverage from us, and we'll be putting up news around, who's available at least before the match comes. But yeah, Branthwaite, we want him to be fit. Having said that, it could be any pegs on the pitch, and we might as well get the Sabutio team out. We might actually get a result.
Just painful, isn't it? It is so painful at the moment, and I've said it before.
So there you have it. Let's wrap up now. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. A slightly downbeat preview of an Everton match at home, but the reality is we are where we are.
I think I've got to say to if you are and give, and I know you all will. I know you will, because you're mad Everton fans like us. I know you will. I know you're hurting at the moment, but for the sake of the team, they don't deserve it. I'm not going to say otherwise. They don't. But for the sake of the team, we just need to dust ourselves down, pick up and go again on Sunday, and Goodison Park needs to be rocking.
And the crowd and the players will feel the crowd, so we've got to do our best to get behind them. I think that anxiety just starts to translate across the pitch, but hopefully from the first whistle we start putting some tackles in. We're not clueless. We've scored some good goals, but we haven't scored many, and it's time now to start opening the floodgates at Goodison and start making it building towards hopefully our final season in the top flight football. But anyway, from Mabbsy, from me, good luck to the Blues, and of course we'll be previewing the match live beforehand with our team. But yeah, until then, maybe have a couple of days where you're not thinking about the stress of football, and enjoy your life. Stay happy, healthy, and enjoy the evening ahead. From Mabbsy and from me, good night.
Absolutely, good night.